Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well and having a lovely day. So recently I filmed a Q&A with my boyfriend and I actually really enjoyed it and you guys seem to love it as well. So then it got me thinking about how I haven't actually filmed a Q&A by myself in such a long time, and I love Q&As because I love chatty videos. I love videos where I get to interact with you guys and you guys get to know me better and find out new things about me. So I posted to my Instagram story asking you guys for some questions, so we're just gonna jump right into it and start answering them. Best advice to someone going through a hard time. I do love giving people advice, so my best advice would be just to remind yourself that things do get better. I know it's so easy when you're going through such a hard time to not see the bigger picture. It's so easy just to focus on all the negatives because of course if you're going through a hard time it's difficult, you're going to be upset, you're going to be stressed, you're going to have all these emotions. But if you just keep telling yourself that things do get better, things do improve, and that you never know what is around the corner, of course it's going to be difficult and it's okay to struggle, but if you're just optimistic and hopeful and just know that things can completely change around in like a couple of months or a year, it might take longer, just know that it's not going to be like this forever. And also my advice when you're struggling with anything or going through a difficult time is to talk to someone. I feel like if you bottle things up, the worse it's going to get, just with anything. If you keep everything inside, then it's just going to build up and make you even more stressed, even more anxious, and just even more upset because you're holding in all these emotions. Whereas if you talk to someone that you trust and let everything out, then they can help you, and honestly you'll be surprised how quickly you feel just even that little bit better just by talking to someone and sharing how you're feeling with someone. How is your anxiety at the moment? So I don't really know where to start with this because social anxiety is something that's always going to be with me. I know that, I realise that, and I've kind of accepted that. I'm never going to be cured, I'm never going to be a confident person, I know that, but I have been trying really hard lately just to make some improvements, some little changes just to help me grow in confidence and sort of tackle my social anxiety. If I look back to a year ago, I have made so much progress because it was about a year ago where I decided to take a break from YouTube, where I was just at the lowest I've ever been in my life. I didn't even recognise who I was anymore and I didn't want to get out of bed. I basically just forced myself to go to work, but I just didn't even recognise myself. I didn't know who I was. It wasn't even like I was living, it was just like I was dragging myself out of bed. I was going to work but I wasn't really a person anymore. It's so hard to explain because I didn't even know what was going on inside my brain, so it's hard to describe that to someone else. I feel like if you've ever experienced anxiety or depression then you might relate to what I'm saying. But yeah, basically I would go to work and then I would just go home and just go back to my bed. I just didn't want to be out in the world. I just didn't really see the point in anything. I just wasn't me. I wasn't really even living a life, to be honest. And fast forward a year later, I actually cannot believe that I'm in the place I am today, and that goes back to the previous question. So much can change in a year and it's all about hope and being optimistic and knowing that things will get better and things will change and that they don't stay like that forever. Like I said, I'm never going to be cured, but I am so much happier now. I really can't believe the change in me, and my family, especially my mum, has said like it's so nice to have the old me back. I feel like so emotional talking about this because I'm not gonna cry, but well, I might. I'm trying not to. But yeah, I just didn't even recognise myself last year and I never thought I would get through it. I just can't believe how far I've come. So yeah, it is difficult, but what I would recommend is reaching out for help like I did. I reached out for help to my friends, to my family, to a doctor. I made changes in my life because I knew the things that were making my anxiety worse. I quit my job, which I know a lot of people don't agree with. They think that that's just going to make my social anxiety worse, but at the end of the day only I know me and my mental health and how my brain works, and for me it's done wonders for me. I think that I know that I made the right decision, like 100%. The time off from work has helped me to get back to who I was. It's helped me grow as a person. It's helped me just focus on myself and getting myself better. I really needed the time to do that. So my advice to anyone who's going through a similar situation or just like any mental health issue would be to focus on yourself. I know that sometimes you can feel like you're being selfish because you're doing what's best for you, but believe me, you need to. And it's not selfish, it's so important to take care of yourself, because you can't care for others and help others if you're not right in yourself. So definitely make some changes, even if other people aren't going to agree with it. At the end of the day, you know you best, and just do what's right for you. What made you decide to start dating / join a dating site? So if you didn't see my Q&A with my boyfriend, we briefly touched on the fact that we met through a dating app. So I've been getting quite a lot of questions about this, like how did you join a dating app and meet up with someone when you have social anxiety, etc. So again, for me it was all about timing and being in the right place. I definitely couldn't have done it last year, I couldn't have done it the year before. I wasn't in the right headspace mentally before to date or put myself out there. But this year, like I said, I've made so many improvements. I'm really proud of where I'm at, and I feel like I've made so much progress. And yes, it was extremely challenging to put myself out there still. It doesn't matter how much progress I've made, still dating with social anxiety is the most terrifying thing in the world. So yeah, I feel like what made me want to start dating was that I just felt ready. I felt that I was in a place where I was actually happy with who I am. And as cheesy as it sounds, I'm going to refer to the quote, "You can't love someone else if you don't love yourself." For example, last year I definitely didn't want to start dating or set up an online dating profile because I really wasn't in the place to do that. I didn't like who I was, I didn't like anything about myself, I just was not ready. And again, this year I'm just in a much better headspace. I know who I am, what I want, and I'm a lot happier, and I think that's so important to have those things sussed out before you start dating. Well, that's just me personally, like my opinion. Do you feel at your age pressure to move out by your parents or think you should pay them rent? So definitely I have never ever felt pressure from my parents to move out. If anything, they want us to stay as long as possible. My mum gets so upset whenever my younger sister Laura mentions moving out because she's hoping to move out soon, and my mum just finds it heartbreaking that we're all leaving home and getting older and having our own lives and things like that. Obviously she's extremely proud of us, but it is upsetting when your kids grow up and start to leave home. I'm super close with my parents and my family, and I love living at home. I'm really content and happy here. I've got my own space in my room. Like obviously I share with Laura, but she's going to be moving out soon anyway, so I'm going to have like my own room. I love having my family around. I'm never lonely. I've always got someone to talk to. It just works well for me, and my parents love having me here as well. Well, most of the time, so they tell me. So definitely I've never felt any pressure from my parents, but I have felt like pressure from like social media and like YouTube comments and stuff of people saying like, at your age you really should be moved out, like when are you moving out, why aren't you moved out, why do you still live with your parents? And I'm just like, chill, it's really not a big deal. Because I always say this, but everybody lives their lives differently. For example, I'm 21 years of age. I know a lot of people who are the exact same age as me. They're moved out, they've got their own house, they've got their own family, like they have children, or maybe they're engaged or something, which is absolutely fine. It's their life and they've chosen to do those things. Whereas me, I chose to do traveling, I chose to work and save up to buy my car. It's okay for people to choose completely different paths in life, and just because you're the same age as someone, you don't need to compare yourself to them and think, oh, have I done this because they've done that. It's not like that. Life's not a big to-do list that you need to tick things off. Just live life how you want to, do the things that you want to do, and do it at your own pace. And the second part of the question was, do you think you should pay your parents rent? Again, this really depends on you and your family situation, but personally for my family situation, I have been paying my parents' rent ever since I started my first job, which was when I was 16. So I pay them money each month, which goes towards rent and the food and stuff like that. And then I also just like pay for my own things ever since I have been earning money. I pay for like my own phone bill, I pay for like our Wi-Fi because I use the Wi-Fi most and things like that. So I pay for like my own things, and then I'll give my parents money every single month, which goes towards rent and food. I definitely think that this really works for me and for my parents. It's definitely taught me from a young age that you have to pay your way in life. You can't just rely on your parents. I think it just really prepares you for adulthood. And for example, when I move out, I don't think it will be as big a step because I'm already paying rent and things here. Obviously when I move out it's going to be a lot more expensive because I'll have my own place, but I feel like it won't be as big a step, if that makes sense, because I'm already used to paying something here. Favourite films and TV series. So favourite films, so we've got the obvious ones, The Greatest Showman, A Star Is Born. Those are probably like my two favourites at the moment. Other films that I like are, there's some comedies, We Are the Millers, Just Go With It. I really love musicals, especially Mamma Mia. One of my all-time favourites is a film called Catch Me If You Can. It has Leonardo DiCaprio on it and it's based on a true story and it is such an amazing film. I love it. Also, I've recently got into the Marvel movies, which I really enjoy. I especially love Iron Man. I am very late to the trend, I know, but when like Iron Man first came out all those years ago, I just wasn't interested in it. I didn't really understand it. I'm quite bad when it comes to movies where I need someone to explain things to me, and I think because I was a lot younger then I just did not know what was going on, because like, you know when they just use all those big words and I'm like, nah, I'm not smart enough for that. I need like simple language, which is why I just enjoy comedies so much, because they're just like plain and simple English, if you get what I mean. But yeah, my boyfriend has recently got me into the Marvel movies and I actually love them. Moving on to TV shows, my all-time favourite TV series is Friends, which you all probably know because I go on about that so much. Other ones that I love at the moment, Peaky Blinders. I love Two Doors Down. It's the funniest show in the world. If I could recommend any TV show to you guys, it would be that. It's on BBC iPlayer, so go and check it out and let me know if you enjoy it. It's so funny. I've recently started watching Sex and the City as well. I'm loving that. Oh, Not Going Out. Love that. It's so funny. And Bad Education. Those are like my favourites at the moment. I'm actually watching a lot more TV series and movies than I used to, and I'm loving it. Oh, this is a good question. Would you ever get cosmetic surgery? So if you'd asked me this previously, I would have been like 100% no, I would never get cosmetic surgery. Like, I've always been kind of against it. Again, I don't mind if other people get it done. It's their decision because it's their body, and if it makes them happy, then I'm like, yeah, go for it. But yeah, I was always against it just because I don't like the thought of it. I think it's quite terrifying, like so much can go wrong, etc. And even though I struggle with body confidence, I don't think I would change anything about my body except one thing. Yes, there are loads of things that I don't like about my body, but me personally, I just couldn't be bothered like getting all this work done. I just wouldn't want to look fake. I just like to look natural, even if I have all these flaws and imperfections. It's what makes me me. I personally just don't like the look of things like Botox and lip fillers. I just think it looks really fake and unnatural, and I just would never get any of that done. So yeah, the one thing that I would only ever get done is my ears. So I think the procedure is called otoplasty. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but that's the only sort of like cosmetic surgery that I would ever consider getting done. The only reason I would consider getting this done is because it has caused me a bit of upset. People used to say things to me in school and make fun of my ears because they do stick out. The thing is, I never even realised that my ears stuck out until I was about 13, when this boy in school said to me that I looked like I had satellite dishes sticking out the side of my head, and just that one boy's comment literally has never left me to this day. I remember from that day on, I never wore my hair up ever again in school. I was always so self-conscious, and I would constantly be checking that my hair was covering my ears. And I remember in science class, we used to have to tie our hair back if we were doing experiments, and I would just pretend that I was too scared to do the experiments. But the real reason that I didn't do them was because I didn't want to tie my hair back, because in my mind, if I did, then I would receive more comments like the one that guy said to me. So I literally never tied my hair up for about 3 years, and then once I left school and started work, the job that I was in, you had to tie your hair back. So I sort of just had to push myself and be brave and just tie my hair back, and it definitely has helped, but still to this day I very rarely tie my hair up. It's just not nice because I'm so self-conscious of it, and if like my hair's ever tucked behind my ears or whatever, I like freak out and then will put my hair in front of my ears again. Or like if I'm editing back a vlog or something and I have my hair tied up or I have my hair behind my ears, I just notice it so much and I'm just like, I hate it, like I don't like it. And I feel like when something causes you that much distress and upset, and if you can fix it and it will make you happy, then I say go for it. So I'm not saying like, yes, definitely I'm gonna get autoplasty and get my ears pinned back, but it is something that I have been thinking about for a while. I even mentioned it to my mum recently, but the only thing is it does cost like £3,000, which is money I don't have, so I'm definitely not getting it anytime soon. But say in a couple of years, if I manage to save that amount of money, I might get it done. It's something I'm considering, just because I know that it will definitely help my confidence and definitely make me feel better about myself. How do you support yourself financially? I know you said you get an income out of YouTube. Again, this is another question that I get asked so much, so I thought I would just address it in this video. So as I mentioned before, I left my job about 3 months ago, I think it is now, and ever since then I've been getting questions asking like, how do you pay your parents' rent, or how do you treat yourself to clothes and buy this and buy that? And yeah, basically the person that asked this question has answered it in the question as well. I do make YouTube videos and I am lucky and fortunate enough to be earning a bit of money from that, which I could not be more grateful and thankful to you guys who watch these videos, because without you guys, then no, I wouldn't be able to support myself financially, and I wouldn't have been able to have left my job. I wouldn't have been in a good enough position to be able to do that. So yeah, that's the answer. That's how I support myself financially. Obviously it's a lot less money than I am used to earning, because ever since I left school at the age of 16 I've worked full-time up until I left my job a couple of months ago. So I was used to a full-time wage, whereas now I'm used to a wage of a small YouTuber, which there's a massive difference, but to be honest, I'm managing fine. I would much rather have less money and be happy than have a lot more money and be unhappy and go back to the way that I was before. Again, another thing that I'm getting lots of questions about is, when are you going to go back into work? When are you going to get a proper job and things like that. What people have to realise is that YouTube is a job, but definitely I've been thinking about what my next step is and what my plan is for the future, and I definitely do want to get another job, but I also want to continue doing YouTube. And I feel like before I just overworked myself and did too much. I was doing a full-time job of 50 hours a week and I was also making YouTube videos, and YouTube actually takes up a lot of time and it's a lot more time consuming than people would think. So I'm looking for another job, but I definitely would not go back to working 50 hours a week and doing YouTube at the same time. So I'm currently looking for a part-time job that will allow me to earn a bit more money but still do what I love, which is YouTube. And I'll definitely still be able to put a lot of effort into YouTube if I have another part-time job instead of having a full-time job like before. So yeah, the plan for the near future is to do YouTube as a part-time job and then to have another job outside of my house, which is part-time as well, and then I'll be earning a much better wage. So yeah, that's the plan. But I'm doing it all on my own time. I feel like there is no rush. I'm not letting like comments on YouTube of people saying you should be working and things like that get to me, because I am working. People need to realise that YouTube is a job and I'm taking my time. I'm not rushing into any old job like I did last time, because that just made me unhappy. I want to find a job that I'm actually going to be happy in, and yeah, I'm going to do that alongside YouTube because YouTube is what I love doing. So I think I'm going to end this Q&A here. I've got so many more questions that I could have answered, but I've already talked far too much, so I don't want to make this video any longer. But thank you so much if you have watched all of this. That's really amazing, thank you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and getting to know me a bit more. If you have any questions about anything I've talked about in this Q&A, then leave them down below in the comments and I will get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys again very soon. Bye!